My name is Kirsten. I have another blog post for you today, and I might have intrigued you by the title. It's called the Oreo Method, and I promise I'll connect the dots between discipleship and Oreos. But I want to start with this. All throughout the book of Acts, we see the early church replicating themselves. We see disciples making disciples and growing people who are growing people. And we see glimpses of how God is working through people and in people, and we see life change take place all throughout the scriptures, and it forms this discipleship process, if you will. I don't think discipleship is a program. I think it's a process, and so I want to talk to you today about that process. Now, from here on out, you are probably going to think about Oreos differently, and for that I want to give you a fair warning, and I'm sorry. But a true Oreo has three parts. It's got two cookies and one icing. Whether you are a cookie lover or an icing lover, I think you play a vital role in discipleship, just as the cookies and the icing plays a vital role in being a true Oreo. And this one is still a true Oreo. It's got confetti in it though, because for Mickey's 90th birthday celebration, if you're a Disney fan, they did Mickey Oreo. So we had to get some because we're Disney fans in this house. But a true Oreo is two cookies and icing in the center. Now, one side represents who is discipling you, who is investing in you, who's pouring into you. And the other side this cookie represents who you are pouring into, who you are giving back to, who you are challenging and investing in. And then there's the icing, smack dab right in the center, that is on both the giving and receiving side. You see, just as it's true that an Oreo has to have all parts, so I think it's true of discipleship, that discipleship has to have the element of who is pouring into you just as much as it does who you are pouring into. Matthew 28:19 through 20 says, "Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I've commanded you." And from this we see that, discipleship is not really a negotiable element. It's more non-negotiable. And you're probably discipling in ways that you don't even realize. You're probably discipling in ways that you think, oh, well, that really isn't discipleship, and it quite possibly might be. You see, the thing about discipleship is that it's intentional, yes, but it's not complicated. The discipleship model that is outlined for us through Jesus is really something that we can replicate. And so my challenge for you this week is to take an inventory of how you're discipling. Who are you investing in? Who's investing in you? And where do you need to focus a little bit more time and energy in those areas? Because I think this is one of the best multiplication methods that there is for groups. Right? So if we are focusing so much on who we are discipling, then we quite possibly could be neglecting who's discipling us, or vice versa. And I think that if we spend so much time on one or the other, we miss the true meaning of the Great Commission. So my challenge for you is to spend time focusing on who are you discipling, who is discipling you, and what area do you need to focus the most on. And then the next time that someone asks you, well, how do I multiply groups? You can pick up an Oreo and you can walk them through the process.